Sci-Fi.
Hey everybody, welcome to Real Life Sci-Fi with Wade and Willie. I'm Wade.
I'm Willie.
This is a podcast about the paranormal and contemporary mythology. Join us on patreon.com/reallifesci-fi for access to 2 bonus episodes a week, video feeds, and more. And visit RealLifeSciFi.show. We got different projects on there, like my reaction channel and Willie's fake movies. Let's talk about the SSRLSF. It's our good friend, our old friend from years ago. It's director Mike Karnell. What up, Mike?
Hey, fellas, happy to be here. Good to see you. It's been too long. I'm glad we got the necessary apologies out of the way before we started, and I thank you for having me.
Mike owed us. Well, let's see. He owed me an apology. I lost track of who owed who.
I owed you an apology.
But...
I for sure owed you an apology. I think Willie owed me an apology.
Right.
And they canceled each other out.
And then also congratulations on your daughter, which neither of us congratulated you. So
no apology needed.
We're not apologizing. We're just congratulating you now because we just got the information.
If you're even thinking of apologizing, just don't. Not needed.
But I am sorry that we had to deal with the apologies.
I do appreciate that. And and I'm sorry that I kind of put us in a situation to have to deal with the apologies.
Yeah, I mean, really, if there was nothing to apologize for, then we wouldn't have even had to bring up the apologies,
And again, my apologies.
So this is the first time, I can't believe this is the first time of you doing the show. Are you into paranormal conspiracy theory type things in general?
Yes, even the ones I don't believe, I enjoy kind of I like to hear what people are passionate about.
Yeah. So has there been one that kind of hooked you a little bit? Like, have you done a rabbit hole internet thing on anything?
I always am fascinated by an orb that is moving very fast in a direction where it's how is it? It can't just stop on a dime. What are we talking about here? Those are the sort of videos I'm served the most that. Yeah, but I'm also, I could be skeptical about some other stuff, I would say.
Did you see? I just saw one. I don't know if it's old or new, but I just saw it, so maybe it's newer. And it's I think it's in a prop plane because you can see the shutter of the propeller or whatever. The orb is just kind of going around them, and at the end it kind of shoots by them.
A bag? They want every time. It's just not a bag, okay? It's not a bag. A lot of
times it is a Mylar balloon, though.
And it might be the balloon's different. It's not a bag.
It's not a bag.
I was saying this the other day to Shauna because we saw something weird in the sky. I thought it was an owl at night because they kind of reflect light a little weird. I was like, look at this. I pulled out my laser pointer, but the batteries went dead. And so we were just watching it, and then it started to get a circle of light in the middle of it as it was getting higher. So it was fucking weird.
Do you think that could be this is a refraction of light on a feather of an owl?
I mean,
from the laser pointer,
that's what I thought it was at first. I'm like, this is a fucking bird. But then there was a ball of light in the middle of it, and it started to get brighter. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that before.
That's not a refraction. Yeah, that's not a refraction.
Mike, did you ever talk to Willie about all of his UFO sightings?
Yeah, we had some good hangs back in the day, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what we're dealing with here.
I've seen the tapes.
Let's get so we do something here on this show called the Wow Scale. Wow Scale.
Are you a Wade or are you a Willie?
Stands for Wade or Willie. It's a 5-question quiz, and at the end of the quiz, I'll give you a score between 0 and 5. If you're more of a 0, you're more of a Wade, and if you're more of a 5, you're more of a Willie. Are you ready to be Wade on the Wow Scale?
Yes, please.
Okay. First question, 3-parter. Do you believe in aliens? If so, have they visited Earth? If so, have they visited Earth in the last 300 years?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. No hesitation. Ghosts.
Yes.
What is your thought on a ghost? Do you think it's a dead person?
My hesitation is it's I guess there's this spectrum of ghosts. There's an energy, doors are being closed when they're not there. And then there's the classic Casper, and then there's everything in between. And so I think I have different beliefs on along that scale.
Sure.
But overall, yes, I believe in ghosts.
That's
and
cool.
Energy like that.
No judgment here until we get to question number 3, because this is the big one. Bigfoot.
Yeah. No.
Okay. We remain judgment free. Willie is the still like the only one who believes in Bigfoot. And we had last week. Someone believed in Bigfoot.
I
Been a while.
Do you have any? Here's what I want to ask you because you're in New York. We'll take a quick pause from the WoW scale. Is there any like really New York centric? Because you've been there for long enough now that you would know if there's any kind of New York centric sort of conspiracy. I mean, I'm mostly talking about like have you heard of the New Jersey Devil? Is that like something that people talk about out there?
Is that a creature? Is it like along lines of like a chupacabra kind of like?
Yeah, it's like a crypto, whatever they're called.
A cryptid. It definitely is like some kind of like shape-shifting wolf hound of some sort.
Interesting.
And if you buy it, you can sell it for much less than you bought it for. So it is kind of
the return on that thing.
All right, so not a Bigfoot. What about the Illuminati?
Not a Bigfoot. I will say that
We're not trying to catch you at all. This is not a sting. This isn't a sting operation. I can't be more clear about how we are not from the CIA.
Man. Yes. In the sense that there is a group of all people are pulling, in the sense that people are
like
pulling the strings.
The shadow, the people in charge.
They may go by another name.
Okay, I respect that. My pen is dying. Multiverse.
I defiantly say no. My brain says it exists, but I don't like it, and I don't want it to exist.
Do you not like it as a concept for entertainment, or does it unsettle you on a human level?
Maybe the entertainment has sullied it. It's just that then there's like, I mean, it's every decision, a spider web off of that. It's like kind of a lot to take in.
So it's just overwhelming. You don't want to think about it.
Would you watch a TV show? Would you watch a TV show where every season was a repeat of the same season, but from a different multiverse?
Ooh. I actually kind of like that.
Like each episode of one little thing. That is fun.
Yeah,
that's like out. Don't put it on a show.
No, I think we should
panic about freezing.
I think we should pitch this.
Oh yeah, you should cut that out of the episode and pitch it.
It's like Rashomon, only it's different universes, kind of, or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something there. And it's a good idea.
And on a production level, you're on the same set. It's a little. Someone's wearing a blue shirt. That guy you're just changing shirts. You're changing little things.
And what a challenge for the actors, because you're the same guy, but now you're a little different. And I know that you actors love that shit. All right. 1, 2, 3. You're a 3.
Hey.
Right in the middle. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't often like to be in the middle. I prefer to be on either end, but
I like it for the show. I think it means you're coming at it from an open viewpoint, but a very level-headed one.
Thank you.
Now, with that being said, Willie, hit us with the topic.
Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi, the STS-75 space shuttle Tether incident. In 1996, during a mission to deploy a satellite Tether, astronauts aboard the Columbia shuttle encountered a swarm of unidentified flying objects captured on camera. Tonight, we're going to explore the theories, the evidence, and the controversy surrounding this unexplained phenomenon. Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi. We'll play some.
You're getting a silent round of applause.
I wasn't sure if you put a sound cue. I didn't know what was.
Yeah, right. There's music that plays for sure.
Well, there's definitely a big applause break after. We put applause break after most of our segments. Yeah. Just so we seem really cool. So we're talking about you just said the Challenger, so we're talking about a space shuttle.
Yeah, this was a space shuttle mission in 96. I've got all these videos set up to go. We can watch them, but ultimately they tethered this little satellite, and as they were dragging it through the atmosphere, they were learning how to collect energy from that part of the atmosphere. And supposedly it collected so much that it pulled it off the string, because they're trying to figure out how to launch satellites into upper orbit without needing fuel. And
they're trying to lasso it, like go around and lasso it out of here.
No, it's like collecting electricity. It's like somehow this tether is like the bad parallel is similar to something like static, but it happens in the upper atmosphere. So this thing is getting electrically charged, and they want to use that energy to send it up into the higher atmosphere just to get satellites into different levels. So this was in the mid 90s. In the video, all of a sudden,
I truly can't wait.
there's these. Well, let's just watch.
Well,
the
let's
first
get
one.
to it then. Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's surrounded by stuff.
I like the description, Dan. It's just them screaming. Yeah.
Yeah. No one can hear you scream in space, so we have to mute it. Did you guys watch Alien Romulus?
I have not seen Romulus yet.
Oh man, you're in for it. You are in for
it. All right, day 9.
So this is the official. Hold on, I'm going to fast.
So we're in space. Is this camera from the Challenger?
Yeah, hold on. Let me share this other one first. This is day
another bag.
Day 4.
All I want to say about Romulus is this while Willie figures this out.
Yes.
Every dumb conversation you've ever had about like, well, what if an alien, they're face suckers or whatever, what are they called? Xenomorphs? Yeah. What if they went into a baby? What if they, because they've done the dog thing. The only thing they haven't done is a baby. I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but just wait. You're going to love it.
Is there a little baby face hugger? Okay. Yeah. Great. All right,
man.
I just want to show you this little thing too, because when people see the SpaceX shuttles in the upper atmosphere and they're like, what is that? And the way propulsion works out there is it just spreads out as it dissipates. So like, here's just some
like a cone
propulsion spearing out, and then you can see it like spreading out in the background. And flat earthers are like, oh, that's because it's water out there. It's the firmament, whatever. I'm sorry, I get so mad about that. Anyways, so
do the chemtrailers have any thoughts on it? Do they think it's chemtrails?
No.
This is on the official NASA page.
Yeah. So this is the satellite that is connected to the space shuttle, and they tether it out using basically a rope ladder. So that
like a space rope ladder.
So I think that this,
cool.
I'm not sure, but I think that this is somehow collecting the energy, and in the middle there's a rope connecting to that satellite.
Mm-hmm. So that's the coolest ladder I've ever seen in my life.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's fucking cool. This thing's collecting all the energy. I just wanted to show you this.
Why couldn't they have us climb that in gym class?
It's almost like a spine. Right? It looks like a human spine, That would have been easier.
And toothpicks.
It's like a
very light.
It's like a bad DNA helix.
And it's super long.
Yeah, and untwisted.
And at the very top,
there's a straight helix.
So here's that.
This is real. This is all real stuff. This is real.
Yeah. This looks like the
That's crazy.
All these videos start with this. So here is the tether breaking.
Is anyone connected to the tether or just the satellite?
Just the satellite. So they're dragging it behind them.
Everything's going great.
Yeah, it looks good.
Beautiful.
A+. Houston. A+.
Oh no! The tether.
I spoke too soon.
Oh, it's like a thread. Whoa.
Yeah. So it snapped and then started winding back onto itself.
Yeah.
At any rate,
that's awesome.
Very awesome. Does it recoil into the satellite, or does it just kind of float?
It ends up staying long.
Could NASA make money just showing videos of stuff like that happening in space on like a YouTube channel? And could they fund their future operations?
This used to all be for free. They had a NASA channel, and so late night after drinking, I'd come home, turn the NASA channel, and just watch space. It was cool.
That's awesome.
But there were too many incidents, I think, like this, where people saw shit and just cut it down. So here's the tether from a distance now. And so it looks thicker because it's reflecting so much light. And they're like, oh, look at all this shit everywhere, right? They're like, oh, that's because the official story is as they're flying through space, there are just like ice crystals that are following them. And so that's just shit following the space shuttle. That's the official story. And
so basically for the listeners, what we're looking at is, they could be stars, but they're zooming around all crazy. Like if it was a camera on Earth, it could be dust particles. But now it's zoomed in. What?
That's another thing too, is that, okay, so the official story is that these are like ice crystals, but they're backlit by the sun and they're out of focus. So they're kind of like orbing out.
It's always like, there's always like, it's always a light refresh. I will say that they're not moving in a way. I always look for like movements, and they're not moving in a way of like a curious nature. For me,
They're not. Yeah, they're not zigging and zagging. They're going in straight
they're
lines.
not external. Like, oh, what's this tether that broke? This is our part of space. We've never seen this tether, not anything like this before. They're just, I don't know about the movements. That's just
And
me.
so the original long video, now the NASA YouTube channel just has, they cut it down to like 15-minute segments, but I've watched the whole long video before. And like at some point they're like, is that the tether? They keep zooming in on the wrong thing because there's just so much shit everywhere. And you see how this is like pulsating?
Well,
and if you look at this wide shot, it's like, it's fucking crazy. There's so many orbs everywhere. Half of them are like pulsing with a light to the side of it. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy to me.
I definitely spoke too soon. I shouldn't have spoke before you went to the wide shot.
Because this does not look
that
like
one floating
space.
one was crazy.
But that, listen, if it's reflecting light and that's their thing, it could just be spinning and it's like more of a right angled like thing or whatever. And so it's just reflecting light on a spin, right? Because none of the others were doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, space is a vacuum. So even if the shuttle goes through, there's not like a wave of, I don't think it's a complete vacuum, but that's the official story now. I don't think
pause. I want to know, what do you mean it's not a complete vacuum?
I think that it's a complete vacuum because it works for our science of how space works, but I just,
what a vacuum is.
Yeah. I don't think it's like, we don't know what dark energy, dark matter is. So like,
we have a human definition for what we understand, but that's not all that space is.
Totally. That's so I'm not saying that they're way off, but yeah. So this thing, I just want to show you, this is somebody analyzing and tracking all the orbs that we saw. So they put these trails on them, like, okay, this one's going straight, Whoa. And the thing is there's different speeds. I do believe that some of this is dust particles, because I do think that there would be ice following them, but this is pretty intense. And yeah, this one makes a lot of these make turns, and I don't know how something would make a dust particle would really turn out there, because they wouldn't be orbiting the space shuttle,
Well, teach me about space, because doesn't everything kind of have its own little gravitational pull, or am I completely wrong?
Object appears to be pulsed 37 pulses.
There is a lot of space junk, that they can track and that like can put a hole in the space shuttle. So they try to avoid that on all levels. So that our atmosphere is flooded with so much shit that I'm surprised we haven't had a real incident.
Yeah. Why is it not space junk then?
Out of all the videos I've seen, I've never seen this much stuff ever. And I've watched a lot of NASA videos.
What was Karnell's? Yeah, go ahead.
What's the NASA explanation for the turning? Because I also have that sort of question. I'm like, listen, it's one thing if the ice particles are falling, what could have manipulated this object to make it turn like that?
Right. They don't address it in this video. In another video where it looks like there's a UFO coming out from the Earth, and then you see a flash, and then it looks like a missile tries to hit the UFO and it jets off in another direction. What? They say that because they hit the rocket boosters, that the direction changed. I can pull that one up too. That one's pretty fun. That one to me is I'd be it. Yeah, the Star Wars space defense program is to try to mess with UFOs.
Where did the rocket come from? From us?
It came from the ground. It looked like it came from Australia, which I think there's a secret base there.
The ground is the Earth still. Whoa. So, like, where are we? They're orbiting Earth? I missed the beginning.
That's a different video.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
this
not.
was a
Oh,
different video. Yeah, completely different video. We sort of got sidetracked. There
I started
was
talking about a video that I'm not showing, but I'll pull it up.
oh, I thought
So
it
here,
had to do with this though, but it's not. That's something
no,
else.
we got sidetracked. You
I'm
know,
sorry.
I was just saying that was
No,
the
I'm sorry.
only other video that I've
Listen,
seen.
you've
Like,
apologized enough.
that's one of the
Please.
only other
One
videos
more.
I've seen orbs in. Is that one?
Okay.
Well, before we move on, there's this whole UAP thing that we
Whoa.
haven't even talked about, Willie. There's a bunch more UAP. What are they going in front of Congress or whatever? Like this is happening again. And has there been any
Because that's
interesting
legit.
stuff?
Didn't they say there were aliens? Sorry, I'm not having all the way caught up. They've confirmed there are aliens, and right?
So over the last two congressional hearings, all they really came up with in the last one is that people are coming forward saying, yes, we have recovered crafts, and yes, we have recovered biological entities that are not human made. So I think with both cases, they're just trying to say, hey, we paid almost $1 billion for this UFO identification thing, and you're not telling us anything again. And so
They spent
like,
$1 billion.
yeah,
It's all made
so
up anyway. The
I think
shadow
that they're-
government doesn't care.
I personally think that there's some
Right.
deep, what do you call the deep state person, or the deep sneaker? What do you call the person spilling the beans from the inside?
The whistleblower.
Oh, the whistleblower.
Yeah, but what do they
No,
call
deep
it in
throat.
deep throat? Yes, I do think that there's a deep throater on the inside trying to say, hey, this is what you guys should do, because it's all about the jargon of how to get Congress to get these secret groups to be able to be transparent.
So wait, so that's what the Congress things are about? They're just trying to hold these budget funded groups accountable and saying like, well, you've been doing this for a while and we don't know anything.
But wait, real quick, look at all these things with curved trails. It's pretty interesting how many, and in multiple directions. So I'm going,
But
like,
is it interesting? Because explain that to me. Because like when there was only one turning, I was like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting. But now they all kind of are. So now I'm like, well, what's the perspective of this camera, and what does a turn mean?
Right, it's not directly behind them. It's out the back window, but it's like off to the side a little bit. If it was directly behind them, you could see it would make more sense because their propulsion's going directly behind them, you know?
Well, could this all be jet wash?
Does this have anything?
I don't think, I don't think so, because if it was, I think there'd be more of a uniform.
Well, but if they're on
trajectory.
different planes of, would it be the X trajectory? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
An axis.
Mike's question sounded more interesting. Mike, what was that question?
Well, I think my question was, what's the government's explanation for the turning? Now I'm wondering, I'm like, what about all the energy that was being stored in the tether? Is that what's being shot out? And do we not, because that's like special energy that we don't know much about, is it reacting in a way that we would not expect?
I mean, that's interesting. I don't, because listen, the theory that I liked going into tonight was on Earth, and I've never heard this before, because every time I look at this in the past, I've been like, well, these aren't crafts. Like, what the fuck is this? They are moving. These aren't like little, I don't think they're little unmanned pods. So recently, this dude Baseforge came up with this idea that he thinks that tether was storing up some kind of electrical plasmatic energy, and that these might be some kind of creatures that live in space that are attracted to the energy. So they're just here to eat. And I'm like, oh,
they're
shit.
here to feed. The sharks smell blood.
He compared it to,
we're chumming the water of space.
And then when the sharks come, we shoot them with a rocket from Australia.
Yeah, we should be. Where's the net? What we don't see is the net that's catching all these. He compared it to like a microscopic amoeba, like eating light.
Yeah.
And he pulled up this petri dish,
Got it,
and
yeah.
it looked exactly the same in a way, where it's just like there's just things floating around, and they're kind of gravitating towards the food.
That's
Well, let me ask you this.
fun theory to me. I like that guy's theory.
I like it a
and
lot.
I think
I
it's
like it a lot.
fun.
Willie, though, and I don't know if you have the answer. Did the astronauts see these orbs, or is this all? Were they even looking? Could they see
Is it
them?
unmanned? Like,
Yeah, in the video where they're talking to Houston, because at the time a lot of this was live to the NASA broadcast station. They were explaining that it was dust that was backlit by the sun. They didn't ask him about the curvature or anything. It was like, oh, it's just there's just dust following us around, and we see this all. Said they see it all the time. Like I said, I've never seen this in any other video.
What, that they turn?
Just this many, just orbs following them like this. You'll see like
But
one
what
the
UFO
quantity
orb.
of orbs.
I guess my question
The
is more
density
like,
of orb.
what did that look like to them? Did it look exactly like what we're seeing, or like was it less prominent?
I think it was less prominent. A later description came out that like, yeah, since the focal range is crazy on this, you can't tell if it's going behind or in front of these things because of the tether, because it's just backlit dust. So like, I do appreciate that, but what if they were backlit microorganisms, because
Sure.
I haven't seen dust in space before.
But does that mean, wait, are you
It
actually
does have a
calling them
jellyfish look.
microorganisms?
It does have jellyfish look and feel. I will say the orb is jellyfish-esque.
Right, of some sort. Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with thinking that
Like
this is
swimming
some
over.
kind of thing that's out there that we just haven't seen before, because we haven't messed with this electrical energy and
Well, let me.
out there.
Okay, well then let's explore that a little bit. Like, so if these are the equivalent of like amoeba eating energy or whatever your thing was, what does that do in your mind? Like, what does that make? What does that mean? Like, let's say, and also I wanted to ask: Are you calling them? Are you calling them microbial, or are you just using that as an analog?
That's just my analog. I do not.
So
these are probably bigger.
Yeah, but they could be just as like docile.
I mean, that tether was huge.
Right. Okay. But they could be as docile as a single-celled organism, right? Is what we're saying. Like, it could just be
the
equivalent of amoeba in space.
That's what I'm leaning towards. Like, we've proven that tardigrades exist in space. So I love the idea that there just could be something else that's alive out there.
What I'll say is that a lot of the times the big quote you hear is, oh, the ocean, it's like the space we can't explore. And deep in that ocean, you will see creatures similar to the amoeba-esque ones that we're talking about. So why can't space mirror what's happening in the ocean? And why wouldn't there be amoebas out there?
Yeah, totally. And if that's true, what does that mean? Does that change anybody's like world viewpoint? Because to me, that's just like, great. That sounds awesome. Great discovery, guys. Like, cool. Let me know what happens, because for now I'm just gonna stay out of it.
Yeah, and also
it means the amoeba leather goods the space amoeba leather goods market will be taking off very soon.
These guys don't know about punk rock yet. It's a whole new market.
Lassoing those guys in. Just skinning amoebas and selling them on Earth. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be eating space amoeba soon.
It's crunchy and gelatinous.
Yeah, we fixed the hunger issues on Earth. It's weird, but we're eating space amoebas.
Oh, they're different when you eat them in space. You got to eat them in space. That's why Bezos is
it's colder.
Richard.
Oh, yeah. You got to eat them up there, because you can't. It's like when you order Taco Bell for delivery. It's like not the same, dude. Like, you have to get Taco Bell when it's done. If it sits for more than 5 minutes, it's a different thing. So these amoebas that we're eating, like, you got to eat them up in space.
In 100 years, there'll be like an oligarch on a space station with like waiting for like a butler to bring like like to remove the lid, and it will be like a steamy little space amoeba.
And there's just tethers floating in all directions. Don't worry about those.
There's tethers fucking everywhere, man.
We did different bits, and I like your bit more, but I was thinking that they were just a new market to wear leather jackets. I thought you were saying like we should sell these guys leather jackets.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as a gesture of goodwill to another species, it's pretty good.
I think you could tell how cool a new civilization is just by how they adopt the leather jacket. Like, if all the nerds start wearing the leather jacket in this new society, I think we can take them out, right? Because like they don't get it. Like only cool dudes wear leather jackets, so get out of here.
Yeah, and you can always tell when someone's faking it. Always.
Yeah. Oh, they look so uncomfortable, and it's like, yeah, you're playing it cool, but I know.
Stiff.
It's all about the head turn. If the head turns with the shoulders, then it doesn't fit right.
Yeah, you haven't been wearing it long enough. You're like RoboCop now. You're like 2 out of 3 Batmans.
So how does it work? Do we vote on whether there's space in me? Or how do we vote on the videos? What do we do?
There's really no end. We used to kind of take stock, like, do you believe this? But now it's just more of like an exploration of the topic. You can give us your thoughts. What do you think?
I vote that it's a space amoeba. I think I made it pretty clear. I guess you don't need my vote, but that's how I would vote.
Well, you got to say final answer. Like it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire rules, and we'll take no answer until you say final answer.
Space amoeba, final answer.
Okay. Oh, and you're wrong. Hey, it's me, Regis. I can't do a Regis. Who's got a Regis? Does anyone have a Regis?
I honestly don't. Well, yeah.
Yep. You gotta be different.
It's almost George Costanza. It's like a little, if you just channel George Costanza.
Yeah. I do want to show you guys this is the video I brought up before where I'm like, I've only seen orbs one other time. It's this video.
This is the jet propulsion one we were talking about.
Yeah. So this one's crazy because there are.
You can. This is the way. I'm sorry. Right? This is the one where Australia shoots at them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
So look right here. Something comes from Earth. Whoop, this thing pops up from Earth and it's going. And there's other things moving also, but keep watching this. The sky's going to light up in a second.
What's the sky lighting up? Is
Boom,
it the rocket?
You see that light? And then this thing moves.
And then it runs.
That thing shoots out from Earth.
They're shooting at me.
This one moves too. And there's a few other things moving.
Scatter!
So it's. Can we get a replay?
Like, yeah. Go back to the beginning. Go back to when it comes out of the Earth, though.
Yeah, because that.
It just kind of illuminates. It just kind of like starts.
Well, that would be the jets on the rocket, possibly.
And so the official thing is that they shoot that this is ice. They shoot the booster from the thing, and then all the crystals move. But that thing looks like it came from the Earth, like it was shooting at it, right?
Do it one more time. Because it's hard to see the rocket. No, just go to where the rocket comes out.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'll just circle it here. It's right here. It comes from here.
Oh, it comes from there?
Oh, wait, what? I thought that was the rocket.
No. Here, watch this right here. Lights up, it moves, and then you see that.
And then that's it.
Yeah. Wait, but so then how do you because the light didn't come from where the rocket came from. So what's that about?
No, so they're saying that they lit their boosters on the space shuttle. Boom.
The light is the boosters?
Yeah.
So it's two different things. The light has nothing to do with the rocket. Got it.
Yeah. So they're saying they lit their boosters, but they're like, no, something came from the Earth that was shooting at this thing that just came out from Earth. So it's a tricky one because I'm like,
got it.
But then this really.
So that's a craft.
Yeah.
And then all the others are crafts all these too, other because then they start moving. Too.
Here's my my thoughts with like at least the thing. this is a very if we're gonna get into Wade, you brought up like what's the distance, what's the lens. I do think we have to talk about camera lensing if we're gonna talk about some of
We
these
got the right
artifacts on
guy. Yeah,
camera.
let's do it.
We have to. I mean, this is a lot. We're condensing images here. Those things could be happening at different distances.
Yeah.
And it
We
makes
have
the
to
far
consider
away
that.
things need to be really big, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If,
or
if it's
like,
far
yeah,
away.
like, yeah.
It's
Hmm.
yeah, and then you could also say that like the boosters caused all of those things to move. Like if those were like the same as the last video and their ice, what'd you call them?
Just ice
Amoebas.
crystals falling off of
Ice
the
crystals. Because if you started your boosters, that would make all of them move, right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Because it's sending, I guess, does a booster send it energy out? I get in a space, especially in an almost vacuum, it would send it out in every direction, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
I mean, the thing is that it would come out from the back, but then it would dissipate in all directions. Now the energy would still keep going straight, but that fuel would dissipate out. And that's why when you see the SpaceX stuff, it's like people don't know what the hell's going on. Those things,
Oh my
they're
God.
practicing like moving in space.
I was on full acid in the fucking desert, and like a bunch of SpaceX satellites came in. I didn't know what it was, and someone did calm me down. But oh my, what a
You mean
scary time! The little
you saw
like satellite
SpaceX.
thing that goes in like the line, like they
What
enter
did
the atmosphere, and then they go like.
How did you
It's like
react?
this. I mean, someone got to me pretty quick. Our old friend Ryan Howard, who I was with, like they got to me pretty quick. Like, hey, by the way, this is just a satellite.
Karnell's going to be super scared about this. I better get to
Hey,
him.
this is just a satellite. Get to him. Don't freak out. It's just a satellite.
See, I would have been the exact opposite. I would have been like, yes, come, aliens, kill us all. Like, I'm done with society, man. I can't wait for aliens to come.
I saw that
In my
once
brain, yeah.
while I was getting beer delivered during the pandemic. And it was pretty low. And I didn't know, and I didn't know that it actually could be two lines because as it starts, they kind of break off. And so I saw two lines of like, somewhere between 20 and 40 orbs flying over, and the guy's like trying to give me the beer, and I'm like, do you see this? Like, here's my ID, but and I'm trying to videotape him, but also pay
they
for it.
Should send out the same way they should send out like they do an Amber Alert. They should just let us know when these satellites have been thrown out. Just text me. Just text me. I'm in the area. You know I'm in the area. You're tracking my cell phone.
Like, don't even be scared. Let us know.
We all want to just let me know. I want to go out. Yeah. I would appreciate a little heads
They're everywhere
up.
now, though. But let's watch this
because
video
like
again.
especially because like you go on Nextdoor or whatever, because that's what you do when something weird happens these days. You go on Nextdoor or Citizen, and everyone's like, "What is this? It's aliens!" And then there's like at least like 5 or 10 comments before like the guy who knows shows up and says like, "It's SpaceX. It's just SpaceX." But like, yeah, why don't they send a fucking text, man?
Citizen in New York is just like man fighting alligator. There's no real like UFOs on there. It's just like a random, a little less fun, a little less sci-fi, a little more gritty.
Well, ours is mostly this dog is off his leash. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Well, you can't have that.
You can't.
Ours are like the police of the neighborhood. Oh, watch out! There's some suspicious guy walking around. I'm like, he just doesn't wear the same clothes as you.
I only download it whenever there's
he doesn't wear the same skin color as you, I think, is more.
yeah.
In 15 years, Citizen will be a mercenary app for like right-wing militias.
Dude. Oh yeah.
Oh, I got news for you. It's gonna be 15 months. It's gonna be 15 months, not 15 years. I applied to ICE.
Show me some
today.
alien videos.
Wait, you guys, I have a story. I applied to ICE today because I'm like, they must be hiring, and why not be on the winning team? I'm doing a full villain turn on everybody. I'm doing a heel turn. And this is going to be this is now going to be an alt-right podcast. I think finally it's time to do this, right?
I do think
I'm glad you waited for me to show up.
Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. we'll keep your name out of it. But
Okay,
I do think
cool.
people will be happy that that you don't have military training when you're talking to them as an
well,
ICE
I don't
agent.
know that I'm gonna be. I feel like I'm gonna be more on the marketing side of it. I'm gonna try and get like I'll be in charge of like propaganda ads that start showing up, and
Mm.
it's like this is not a Mexican, this is a criminal or whatever. This is oh here I already got it. I already got it. This is not an American. This is a criminal.
Mm.
Something like that. I think
You can
that's
also
good.
recruit at weight rooms if you're in
For
recruiting.
marketing.
No, for ICE agents.
Hey, I'm looking for a new CFO of marketing, and you look
Bro.
pretty fucking strong.
Bro,
You've committed
I'm
to
very
yourself.
sure.
Can you
have
commit
you
to
seen my
us?
group? Have you seen my gains, bro? Has
Cue
anyone
up
ever
those
made-
video. I want to see that video. Cue
No,
up
yeah,
that
okay.
damn space
Let's
video.
watch the video. But also, has anyone ever done Gainsborough and Gainsborough? Like, what's the college team
Oh,
in Gainsborough?
Gainesville.
No, Gainsborough. Isn't that a place? Isn't that like where Notre Dame is or something? Where's Gainsborough? Well, I'll look it up. Listen, my joke is good. You guys watch your video. I'll work on my joke.
Okay,
This
back
is
to
just the
action.
the
From the
full
top,
length
brother.
video, so you can see that. Like, so supposedly, if I remember right, I think this is. I mean, this is Australia right here. They announced that they were going over it and that you could see it. This one isn't as contrasty as the other one, but you do see other little
What's that?
orbs going around. You you don't
Where
know
are
the
those?
depth. There's like, what the heck is this thing?
Hmm.
It's not the moon. It's not a star. Like, what is this bright thing? Here's another. There's just orbs.
What are these
everywhere
other
moving.
things close? Yeah.
Yeah, and so their explanation is always it's just ice. But these are the only two videos that have ice, and they're the biggest UFO videos in space. If this is ice, why is it lit? Why are these things lit? They're not.
Where's the sun?
Yeah, the sun is behind the Earth right now. So are there lights on the space shuttle going out in all directions? I don't think so.
Yeah, because like there wouldn't be. There's no other like big light source in space.
Oh,
So if
here's
they're on
the
the
scene.
other side of the Earth, like how could they be backlit? That's a fair question, brother.
And that's what
Is
I don't
there
understand.
really no Gainsborough town? There's no Gainsborough.
Gainesville is the University of Florida.
I must have been thinking of that. Well, okay, it
But
still works. It still works.
Gainesville
It still
works. Gainesville works.
Yeah, I got it. So you go to University of Florida. Is that what you said, or Florida State?
Florida.
Okay, Florida is the Gators, right?
Hmm.
Welcome to Gainesville, and then it's just like a huge muscle gain, but you
Yes.
spell gains like, or are they spelled the same way?
No, they have an E in there, so you would.
Okay.
I guess you would drop the E.
Drop the E. It's cleaner.
Drop it.
All right, I'm sorry.
So
Back to
this
the
is.
video.
I almost think it's ice. I almost think it's ice.
I
I'm
do
leaning
believe
ice.
that there is some ice, but that thing did look like it shot out from the Earth, right?
Okay, so here's what I
I
want to
get it.
say about that. It did look like that, but you could also say that that's just another like ice crystal that is smaller and has a
Yeah, let's
different
get this.
trajectory and is coming far to near or however it works. Like show it again because you
perspective wise, you just don't
could
know
say
where to.
that. Yeah, it's just a what's a coincidence that the thing shot by right when it.
Okay,
Here's
great.
this
Thank
thing.
you. Okay, here it comes. So we're saying that this is the possible ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it goes the
And
other
then it moves.
direction.
And now something
As
shoots.
that thing.
Boom.
Because if you watch the other orbs, do look like
What shoots?
You don't see it. It's like you can see it. It yeah. It goes right
Well,
behind
what's the
it.
explanation? Can you do it one more time?
Well,
Oh, I
it
see
just
that.
went.
I see
It
that
just
second
went.
shot. Where's the first shot?
It's just the second one. I think the delay is fucking us up.
Got it.
so it's after the flash. The flash happens. This thing changes directions, which tracks, and then this thing looks like it shoots out from Earth. Like what could? But you're right. You're right. It could be a perspective thing that came from here.
Yeah,
we just didn't.
think,
We
like,
didn't see it until here. But again, why is this all lit up?
That's the one thing where
it
I'm like,
sucks to ask the question that there is an answer to that I don't know. Like,
see this video around the horizon line? That looks like ice to me. It just, I go off movement. That the amoebas had amoeba-esque movement this is it feels like they're floating.
I agree with that, because all of these do track with the idea that, yeah, when this thing boosts, a lot of these things move. It's just that one fully changing direction backwards, and this thing shooting up. It's like, oh, that's pretty crazy. Let me pull up this one other video. There's this guy.
While you pull that up, believing that these are orbs and that these are extraterrestrial. Maybe I've been doing this podcast for too long, but I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, those are aliens, sure, why not? Because we have so many orb things that Karnell was talking about earlier with like the planes and stuff. I'm just kind of going like, how long are we dissecting this? Do you know what I mean? Like, is this fruitless to continue talking about something that we're ahead of? Like, if this is if we're all on board with like, okay, there's aliens and stuff, I guess you still have to.
Are we
kind of? Well,
Are
you
we
said
all
you
on
believe.
board?
You said you believe. Question one.
Oh, I thought you meant like a collective we. You mean the three of us? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the three of us, and then like if Congress is going to get on board because they're like getting all of this information or whatever. Like, I wonder if skeptics are becoming fewer and fewer, or if I'm just being propagandized by Willie very slowly over a 10-year period.
Right. Well, the hard part is this. I mean, this is the direction that these congressional hearings are going. They're like, okay, fuck everything from the past, because it's just, we don't have the footage. It's not good footage. We like, even this NASA footage, they're like, we just want to focus on the new shit. So we got the new shit, and now you're not showing us that either. And I'm like, that's
when you
the whole
say the new shit. Are you talking new tech? Like, we got new cameras, we have new tethers,
new UAPs that they're looking at. The UAP
new footage.
Like, the new stuff that there are. What's the word?
Disclosure.
Disclosure. Thank you. Jesus.
What are they disclosing?
But you're saying like the new disclosure. They're not showing us the new disclosure stuff. They're just showing us all the old stuff.
So we've just spent $1 billion. We just spent $1 billion on this new task force to analyze UAP videos from the military, and it's been at least a year, and we just gave $1 million. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, show us.
What are they doing? It feels like it would take 2 days to analyze the videos, right? Like, who's a human's analyzing? Put them into a computer. The computer can analyze it. Right? What do you? It's some fucking guy like looking at it. What are you talking about?
So that's why the language is like, let's focus on the new shit, because the whole idea was that this is supposed to let us know shit.
They don't want us to know, even if they found out.
Well, that's my
thought is that they don't want us to know. This is all they want us to think that there are hearings. They want us to see the evidence, and that there isn't, and then they would never tell us, because I think people, they're afraid of what people will do.
Oh, I think they're afraid of their bottom line, dude. I think they're afraid of like, how do we keep these people being consumers and not giving a fuck about anything? Yeah, I mean, Trump's president again, and like a lot of I think I mentioned this in a previous episode. I thought it was funny that like on the day of the election, people were Googling like, is Joe Biden not running? And so like,
oh my God.
So that's like we're up against, but that's like who we are living with. We're living with people who just don't care, right? And so convincing them to care about aliens is like probably easier than convincing them to care about who the next president is,
or other people.
or other people. The point is, the shadow government, the people who run the world are like, well, if there's aliens, then they are. It's like when a Wendy's opens against a McDonald's or whatever, they're like, we got to get rid of this fucking Wendy's. And that's what I think aliens are to these corporations. They're like, well, if these aliens are so technologically advanced and they understand our currency system, what's to stop them from coming down here and giving people awesome cars for like $10? You know what I mean?
Those alien pieces of shit, they're just giving away fucking cars.
That's what they're afraid of.
Throwing Kias out of their ships.
Here, also, we've got Blutchak burgers, man. Blutchak burger. It's way better than anything you have.
And amoeba leather jacket. Space amoeba leather jacket. I honestly, I do feel like the only reason that if aliens are true and this is all tracking, like if I believe all of this, the only reason is McDonald's just doesn't want that to happen, you know?
I mean, the power company is going to be behind it bigger than McDonald's. It's like,
I can have
these
some
guys
alien
flying in?
scumbag selling Big Macs for less than I can, okay? He's cut.
Think if aliens came down here and every alien has the ability to replicate anything that it touches. And all it has to do, this alien, is go to McDonald's or whatever, get someone to buy it a Big Mac, and then it can go around and just like give people Big Macs. That's got to be a problem for
Peace
McDonald's.
on Earth.
That is a funny
that's a
movie
problem
too.
for the defense industry,
where
it's a problem for the weapons industry, where everyone's happy, everyone's eating burgers.
They get one alien to run a burger chain. He's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know it was bad."
It's two brothers. Okay, I got the movie. It's two alien brothers, and they come down and they crash, and they're like, "Fuck!" But one of them's kind of like a bad boy, and the other one's kind of like a good kid. And the good kid like finds McDonald's, and he's like, "This is cool. I like this." And he can replicate. They can both replicate everything. The bad boy brother goes to like Area 51 or whatever, and like starts like duplicating nuclear weapons, and the government is like,
Whoa.
yes, oh my god, we don't have to spend any money on nuclear weapons. And then it's like the battle of the brothers,
Cain and Abel.
Yeah, what a great movie. We can do biblical themes in there, and then we can get the fucking Christians on board.
It was such a good pitch. I was picturing it I could see like the tone of the film in my head when you were describing it.
Let's do it.
This is the last video I want to show. This guy, I forget his last name. His name's Martin. This is called the Smoking Gun Transmissions. This guy worked at a TV station, and they had a satellite that was big enough to take all the input of the NASA footage after they stopped airing it. So he just started recording NASA footage from this little Canadian TV station. And these,
hell yeah.
He claims that these are orbs that showed up behind this space shuttle and created a circle. And he thinks that they're trying to communicate with us. Like, how would you communicate with a ship in space? Maybe you'd make a circle. I don't know.
It's those four.
Well, so I didn't want to take the whole time. Here they are, the space shuttles going. Yeah, there's a couple orbs right here right now. There's four of them. And here's one right here coming into the screen from the bottom. And
got it.
In a second here, this makes a perfect circle. And he's like, well, this didn't happen just dust in space. That looks like a piece of dust, like it definitely is.
Well, that one is dust. Yeah, that's dust.
But these things lighten up. I mean, if you ever saw a bunch of dust making a perfect circle, would you? I don't know. I mean, there's other shit here too, but eventually this makes a pretty great circle. And this was transmitted from the space shuttle, and no one's ever seen this, because the only copy of it is this dude who recorded it from this TV station in Canada.
What the fuck?
Right?
What's that in the center?
So here's a circle, and there's an orb in the middle. Yeah.
There's a big glowy orb.
And then they turn the camera away from it. They're like, so they're aware that something happened.
What? Oh, who's that? Is that him?
That's the guy, Martin. Yeah, Martin Stubbs.
He looks credible.
Whoa. Why is his face moving like that in the video? Wait, go back. Am I tripping out?
Oh, it's a VHS pause. It's a VHS pause.
I was like, yo.
He's an alien. He's definitely an alien.
I was like, he's not human.
Oh, you don't hear the communication happening right now?
He's struggling to keep his human form. His skin is pulsating because it's so hard.
It's holding it in.
Is heavy?
It's like when you got to poop real bad, but you start sweating.
But you got space poop.
Please let all this be true, and please let them come save me. Oh, and also I wanted to say this. I hope this isn't too late. Boycott Collider, they fired me, so just like boycott Collider. I was thinking like maybe go on every Collider video or article that you see and comment justice for Wade, but then you give them hits and
that's traffic.
Yeah, I don't. So
Clicks.
just don't go there and like fuck Collider.
Fuck it. Won't go.
I just wanted to say that for our big audience. That's all I talked about on the episode for our Patreons. And if you want to hear more of that, go to patreon.com/RealLifeSciFi.
Is this going to be behind a paywall or is this
No, this is
for
the
the
big
people?
one. That's why I'm saying it.
Oh, this is the big one.
This is the big one, baby. Welcome.
Hell
So
yeah.
so what do you think? Are these guys, because I think like at the end of the day, if you believe that these guys are just floating around and they only really react when we do something to them, then they're like whales or something, right? They're just like space whales or something. Like it doesn't seem like they're
Too
like,
big.
but it doesn't seem like they're like sentient because they're just kind of floating around and like maybe turning. And then when one
Jellyfish.
thing happens, like a bird or whatever, if a bird hears a loud noise, it flies off.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. Like dumb aliens.
Yeah, I mean, the Tether video is the closest I came. A lot of the stuff felt like ice because I'm like, I do think there's like a layer of ice that we're working with here on Earth, right outside of our grasps in the system. But I do subscribe to that guy's theory that those were space amoeba. And so for me, I think I'm 1 for 3 on the videos. The space amoebas I buy. The last one, the other one looked like ice to me. This last one, I actually don't know what's up with those circles, and I'm undecided on the last video.
Let me just say this to the space, because maybe you can tie in your space amoeba thoughts to the last one, which is we have seen a perfect circle be a structure in nature. Like a perfect circle is not a man-made thing, right? Like
Where?
well, maybe not a perfect circle, but
Where?
hang on. The
What?
the pineal, what's the pineal
Perfect
grand
circle.
spiral? What's that called?
The Fibonacci
It's
sequence
not about
spiral
yes,
is
Fibonacci, thank you. But it exists in nature.
Not a perfect circle is what I'll say.
It is if you start where you stopped, it just spirals in on itself. And don't tip your hat like you just fucking got me.
I don't think so.
Listen, I'm just trying to make you believe more in the third video. And you could say that amoebas can make that for whatever reason. Space amoebas can make a circle.
I will say maybe I'm like wrong about there not being perfect circles in nature. What if you were to drop a drop of water? Doesn't that create a perfect circle?
What about those fish that design their own areas to try to attract, those ADD fish that make the patterns on the
Mike,
sand?
have you seen these videos? You gotta look.
No, what?
Oh, it's
ADD
the best thing.
Fish?
I wouldn't search for it that way. That's just Willie's. But no, here's what they do. They live in the sand on the seafloor, and they make like really intricate patterns to attract a mate. And they like, well, they'll like put a seashell. They'll like go and find a seashell and like move it into the perfect spot. They're like designing these like things. It's insane. And so when you think about
what's
that,
the
like
species?
just look up like
just look it up.
Stupid ass fish that like make
fish
things in the ocean.
If you type in this sentence, what the fuck are these fish that are making this shit with the sand?
Yeah, just like use Chat GPT and be like, my friend was telling me about these
what
dumb
the fuck are these
fucking fish. You'll find it.
Do you mean the Fibonacci spiral? Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, cool. If these things are dust or if they're actual aliens, I would be on board with either.
I would love it.
I can't believe tardigrades surviving in space isn't the biggest news in the world. I'm like,
I don't know why that would be big news, because like those are whatever single-celled fucking things that have been around since the beginning of Earth. So like, yeah, they exist in space.
They're fucking everywhere. They know everything.
Well, they're dumb as fuck. I mean, if you want to be a tardigrade, go ahead.
They're just eating, just walking around eating.
What are your final thoughts on all this stuff? Let's start with you, Mike.
Final thoughts is I had a blast. You don't quite know what you believe in until someone puts you on. Was it the World of Wade scale?
No, it's the Wade or Willie scale.
It's the Wade or Willie scale. Sorry, the WoW
scale.
The
World of Wade scale. How much of a narcissist do you think I would be to name the scale?
I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let's call it that.
Hey, Willie, you should have let him push you around like that, man. It should be the Wade or Willie scale.
Yeah, it's the World of Wade scale. Fine.
I'm texting Willie after it should be Wade or Willie scale.
Then I get word of that. Mike, why are you texting Willie?
Dude, it's fucked up. You're walking all over him.
Fuck you. It's his whole show. I get one thing.
But yeah, I mean, I might even be doing some research. Willie, feel free to text me some links. I'm down to watch some videos. I know I'm a 3 out of 5 on the scale, but I'm open to raising that number up a little bit.
Yeah,
personally.
dude. I love the Martin Stubbs video because it's like, he just opened a file cabinet that we were never supposed to see,
The guy who recorded all this shit.
Yeah.
I was in the
that.
bathroom during that part, and I would just say the only reason you see it there is because it's like largely boring shit that he just found patterns in. I mean, that's the skeptical side of me, just going like, oh, this guy like downloaded all this shit, and now he's just like, but whatever.
Is he dead? Because
Yeah,
in the video it was like in loving. Okay, because he's not getting rich off of it. He's just there.
Wait, did it say in
there.
loving memory on the video?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
This
guy's running a fucking. This guy Martin Stubbs is running a get rich quick scheme.
It's funny that his legacy is a YouTube video. Like it's probably all of our futures, really.
I couldn't even find it on YouTube. Like, I can't find stuff that I used to watch all the time. I watch it on Facebook. I'm like, where's all the videos I used to watch are gone. So you have to download this shit.
Why are they gone? We're talking like
YouTube?
rights, like YouTube, Google.
Yeah, YouTube. Google. They're making it so you can't find the videos that are questionable.
Google said don't be evil,
vault.
right? And then they took it down. They're like, don't be evil. And then like 15 years happen, and they're like, no, scratch that. Like, be evil. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Karnell, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're loving your life in Brooklyn.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I hope you guys are loving your lives in Los Angeles.
Well, Los Feliz, because I used the correct neighborhood.
Got it. That's my bad.
Yeah,
I'm a New Yorker. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No,
Fucking New Yorkers. Oh my God, I'm walking here and shit. Thank you for being here. It was great to see you.
Yeah, so good to see you, man. It's been too long.
Oh, that part was on mic of me saying that part's where I say I'm gonna be.
Well, we can cut it out because usually I'll be like, we're going to continue the conversation. And, well, I'm a very informal guy. I mean, like, if I did your job interview, you wouldn't know where it was coming from. You know?
When does it?
It's over
with your head.
Well,
how'd you do?
How do you think you did? Well, it was a blast being here, boys. Thanks for having me. Text me those links, and I'll text you back, Wade. We don't have to have these apologies every time we see each other.
Okay, man. Listen, I look forward to it. I want to know what's going on in your life, and I miss you. And thank you so much for coming on. And just to the audience, thank you for listening. And go to patreon.com/RealLifeSciFi. We're going to continue this conversation reluctantly and begrudgingly without our good friend. But we've got Timothy Pizza. Timothy Pizza's coming. Sound the alarm. Sound the Noid alert, because
we've got pizza.
We got pizza.
We got pepperoni. All right, boys.
Watch the Tonight Show. Karnell does stuff for Tonight Show. He didn't want to mention it.
Not true.
He didn't want to mention it. He was like, I don't like Jimmy Fallon. It's Jimmy Fallon, right? It's Jimmy Fallon.
No, you said it in a way. You're like, you don't want to mention where you work, right? And I was like, no, it's fine. I don't give a shit.
That's not the way I said it. Dude, thank you so much.
All right.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Hey, let me take an episode photo.
Oh yeah, wait, we got to take a photo.
Oh yeah.
And while we take the photo, I will just end the episode by saying, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. We'll see you next time.
Play. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa! How did you do that? Your hands were in the air.
What is happening behind you?
You have gestures.
Who did that? What are you doing? What the fuck?
Whoa, dust particles.
How'd you do that?
Whoa.
Can I do it?
Mine are off. You have to turn them on.
Oh, okay.
And that's, fuck, the tether snapped. Tether
fucking
snapped.
I'm a little energy monster. I'm going to get your energy.
All right, peace.
Peace out, dude.
Real life sci-fi.